And we're here with Nigel Leitch of Pissed. And Nigel's been pissed about a lot of things lately, so let's just hear a few of them. How you doing, Nigel?
Good, thanks, mate. Good to talk to you. Me first one is copyright. Like, I do some shit on YouTube, obviously, and it is shit, and I'm proud of it being shit. But one of them that I put up last night was called Why I Hate Nickelback, and it contained segments of their songs which come straight from Spotify, which I was playing it on. And out of that, they chose one song. Oddly enough, the song that I think I really slagged off, and that was Something in Your Mouth. And I make a couple of gestures on the video. I think that's why they didn't like it. Oh, the claim's been released, apparently. Oh, no, it's a waiting response. But I used about a minute of their shit-ass song, and they picked that one song out. I played Photograph. I played, all their hits, all the ones that sound the same. I played them.
Right.
Animal. And didn't complain about any one of them except Something in Your Mouth.
Yeah.
Which I think it's an obvious reference to penis.
Yeah, well, Chad took that personal, so that had to be stricken,
Yeah. Probably the bit...
He doesn't want it to be known that it's about a special encounter that happened on the road.
Yeah, well, with Chad, it'd be a very small something in your mouth.
Yeah.
But I think it might have been the bit where I refer to as Chad Kroeger as Rihanna with a beard. I think that might have been the bit that got him upset. I'm not sure, because I was actually fairly favourable on a couple of songs because I was pretty drunk. But another issue on the copyright, I did me top 10 songs of all time.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah, it was 3 or 4 parts. But EMI decided that I'd broken this copyright thing because I played a David Bowie song which was called 5 Years, and it's a great song, hence being on me top 10 songs, and I played all of about 3 seconds of it. And
wait, that goes beyond like the 7 seconds that used to be allowed in sampling.
I'm not sure offhand how long it was, but it wasn't very long at all. And the fact that I gave it a glowing review and I played about like 10 seconds or something, I don't know. No one's going to rush out and fucking download me video as a fucking ringtone. It's got swearing all over it for a start, and no one likes swearing.
How do I get that ringtone?
I just thought it was piss weak, though. I played every other track on there. No disputes, just EMI. Every mistake imaginable.
Now, did they freak out about your Sex Pistols drunken review?
No, they didn't mind that, apparently. I'm not sure. It might be something that I say on there. Now I've got this fucking label on there, improve this video. YouTube. Yeah, just on the YouTube thing, though, they've given me 15 minutes now instead of 10. I think that's because I deleted about 10 videos that did actually have copyright infringements. But yeah.
There's a fine line between infringement and promotion, if you want my honest opinion. Because there's times where you're using a person's music in a parody or whatever, that they're getting that exposure.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like my mom used to say, it doesn't matter whether they're saying something bad about you or good about you, as long as they're talking about you.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So there's no such thing as bad publicity. You know what I'm saying? And using someone else's material and a parody or a mock-up or whatever, it's still drawing attention to that artist, and they're still getting a fucking cunting royalty check out of that fucker, and they're bitching.
Attila the Stockbroker, who's a punk dude from the UK, I posted his song, Maggots 1, Maggie 0, which is a very loving song about Margaret Thatcher. And I just posted it on YouTube. There's been no breaches of copyright or anything. He posted it on his Facebook page. So some people just don't have a stick up their ass about stuff. And I think that's good because people respond to that. And I mean, I could use an example, and that'd be Metallica and Napster.
That's kind of like the epitome of an example. You know, Metallica embarrassed themselves on the MTV Awards, you know, the year after the Napster fiasco, whenever they had the Lars Ulrich skit where he was in the guy's dorm room and sticking Metallica stickers on everything. And he took a drink of the guy's Pepsi, and the guy was like, cool, you know, and he took a drink and he's like, I just shared 10 years of groupies with you, you know, and all this shit. And it's like, all through this funny skit, people are booing. And the beauty of it was whenever the guy from Napster came out, whenever they presented some award, him and another guy came out, and the guy from Napster had a Metallica shirt on. And I can't remember who it was, but the guy who was presenting the award with him said, hey, that's a really cool shirt there. And he said, yeah, you know, I borrowed it from a friend, and I liked it so much that I'm thinking about buying my own. And everybody cheered him, and it panned over directly to fucking Lars Ulrich right at that time. And he's got his fucking head in his hands. And I'm like, yeah, it really sucks when it bites you in the fucking ass. Now put a sticker on that.
Yeah, speaking of painful, their movie... What the fuck was that? Seriously.
Some kind of recoup for disaster.
Oh, what's that? The only guys in it that looked normal were Kirk Hammett. Kirk Hammett is out of Metallica, isn't he?
Guitarist.
The guitarist dude, long-haired dude.
Right.
Yeah, him and the bass player, they come out of it looking normal. James Hetfield come out of it looking like an absolute fucking tool. And so did Lars, but I mean, Lars is obviously. And then there's Lars. Oh, when I was younger, I used to fucking steal everyone's songs and stick them on a cassette. Then I got older and I turned into a cunt. I think that's exactly what he said. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, well, if it isn't, you've quoted him verbatim. You know what happened to the Snake Pit? Hey, everybody bootleg our shows. Well, what are we supposed to do with them? Put them on a cassette and jam them up our ass and see if it's really metal?
Yeah, but I mean, like, you look at shit on YouTube, you've got Placebo bootleg live shows, you got The Darkness bootleg live shows, which are all fantastic, by the way, but they're not suing them for copyright breach, which they could easily.
And
but I mean,
there's a ton of them. There's a ton of them. I mean, I've been finding Iggy Pop. I've been finding, you know, a lot of the classics. Ian Dury. I've been finding, you know, Ramones shows, entire shows.
That's right.
On YouTube.
You can go watch one of their shows. It's 90 minutes long.
And
it's all totally fucking awesome.
A lot of people in America perceive them as a joke. Here's the real joke. You know how they came to be, don't you?
Offhand, no.
They were in a bar and they were doing karaoke, and for fun they had Justin, who was a guitarist, get up and sing Bohemian Rhapsody, and he just nailed it, and they were freaking. They're like, you're our new lead singer.
You've got 2 albums that they've released so far, and then Justin got his cocaine habit, whatever. Then they've reformed. They're doing another album. Those 2 albums would be 2 of the best albums ever released. It's just straight ahead rock. It is just fantastic.
And it's outrageous, like it should be.
Yeah. And he produced Foxy Shazam's Church of Rock and Roll album, and I'm pretty sure he's uncredited on there for he's written some of the songs on there, but they also toured together, but they're a great band too. Foxy Shazam, American band, fantastic. Right. Yeah, saw them live at Soundwave. I had no idea who they were, and just sat there with my girlfriend, watched them, and they're fucking sensational and funny as hell. So here I am laughing, and everyone else has just got serious looks on their faces. But tough. He's a wicked lead vocalist, and if Queen actually wanted a real vocalist, and I'm not slagging off Adam Lambert just for slagging off sake, but it would, if Queen wanted to replace Eddie Mercury, it'd either be with Justin Hawkins or the lead singer of Foxy Shazam. But
well, you know, Adam Lambert fits the bill a lot more ways than one because he is a Queen.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Brian May is also.
They want him.
Just on the gay issue, or people that you didn't know were gay that ended up being gay, the funniest example of that, I reckon, is Rob Halford out of Judas Priest.
Yeah, awesome.
And why I reckon it's funny is they are truly one of the greatest bands in the world, without a doubt.
And the metal gods.
Yeah, but the people that were their fans, like, you'd speak to them, oh, no way, he's not gay. He wears leather. Like, yeah, okay, he wears leather. So did Village People.
Yeah, well, where did he get the leather from? I'll tell you. He was out shopping one day with a couple of lesbian friends, and they took him to a bondage store. And this is no joke. This was whenever they had done Sad Wings and everything, and he was still wearing blouses. Clue number one. Hello. And they turned him on to this whole new look. And I have an old lead vocalist from a band of mine called Blaze that used to emulate Rob Halford head to toe. All right. And he could sing. We was at his place watching the Headbangers Barbecue with Fight, and I think it was Ricky Rockman said something about, you guys have been on the road for a long time. I'm sure you've explored just about everything. And Rob Halford looked down at JJ's crotch, the guitarist, and he said, well, there's still some areas to explore here. And I looked right at my old lead singer and said, I told you, I fucking told you. And he's like, no, he's not gay. He's not gay. And this is probably 8 years before he came out. When he came out, he's like, you know, if you go back and listen to older Priests, you'll hear a lot of innuendos in there. In fact, a lot more than you might think.
Their early shit, though, is so fucking good.
Oh, it is. But
amazing rock and roll stuff. It's not metal. It's just straight rock and roll. And that guy's voice is astounding.
But it was the whole leather thing that, you know, when he went to this shop and he put on this outfit, that he found the look for the sound. But this is what I found ironic, because I got to see him on their farewell tour, the Epitaph. He said, you know, night after night, I've gone out for decades living out my sexual fantasies on stage, you know, because he's dressed up the way he is. And, you know, so when we seen him, you know, of course, they had the replacement, first off, for KK Downing, and fucking credible. In fact, whenever Zakk Wylde came out from Black Label, who was opening, did his 10-minute shred solo. But then, whenever Priest, it was time for the guitar solo, I was expecting Glenn Tipton to come out. And instead, it was the new guy, who's not really new, but he comes out and does a 3.5-minute solo that not only shredded, but melted and everything else. It was just incredible. And I was like, and I looked at his vest and his guitar, and I nudged my buddy. I said, who does that remind you of? And he said, Randy Rhoads. And I said, yeah, I thought the same thing. But the taste and tenure and everything of his solo spoke out to me more in that short a time than the 10 minutes of shredding from Zakk Wylde. But on the farewell tour, Rob Halford's voice is still as strong as it was back in the day.
Yeah, it's funny how some artists with age either have a voice that either stays the same or matures. In Robert Plant's case, matures. But then you get other artists like Axl Rose, and I do want to go there on this topic.
Well, let's. We have Richard Fortus from St. Louis now in Guns N' Roses. Actually, has been for a few years.
But I mean, Axl Rose put on about 300 pounds, lost his hair, wears a hat now. He cannot sing for shit. I don't care what anyone says. He cannot sing, and he puts on this big cabaret bullshit vocal timbre thing that he has happening live. Having seen Miles Kennedy sing with Slash in Kuala Lumpur,
you were
which
there.
was about the most, there was about 16,000 people, which was a sellout. Everybody at the stadium was jumping up and down. Like, it was astounding. And some of my friends there, even friends from Malaysian bands were there, like Pop Schubert, Moot Schubert was there. They were going off. And I was front row, and I reckon I lost about 3 litres of sweat. It was so friggin' hot. And I've never heard anyone sing live without hitting a bum note as I did that night. I mean, there's the Led Zeppelin rumours with Miles Kennedy. You've heard about them, have you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then there's his band, the Mayfield Four. That's what they're called. Is that correct?
Right. And, it wasn't until you mentioned that I made the connection, because I actually saw them back when they were first starting out. Actually, I can't say first, but it was the Fallout album, because they were touring with Fuel on the Sunburn. God damn, I'm drunk.
Can I say it? Fuel?
Yeah. And the
they
album.
Were fucking great.
Yeah.
They were great before they became Nickelback.
Yeah, Nickelback too.